Welcome to this IHSA Safety Talk video. My name's Scott Lang, and today we're going to talk about site posting requirements. One of the key things for all sites is you have to understand the Act and the regs require you to put up certain documents on every site. So we're always going to start with the posting of the Act. It is really important that every site have the Act and the regs, and it is up to date, the most recent version of the Act. At that point, on our safety board, if you want to use a safety board or somewhere in your site trailer, you need the notice of project. So letting them know where you are, what you're doing, value of the project, things like that. So it's really important to have that posted. We have to employ the ministry's employment standards. We have to employ health and safety at work. If there is a visit by the ministry inspector, then you need to post that as well. It's also imperative, the regulations require that you post your company's health and safety policy statement. And in proximity, you should have your complete manual available to the worker. So it's really important to get that policy statement. It should be dated and signed annually, as well as the rest of the policies and procedures for the workers. In addition, you need your WMIS. You need your safety data sheets. They must be readily available and available to the worker should they be using any type of chemicals. One of the other things the regulation requires is your violence and harassment policy. So we have our violence and harassment policy here, posted, dated, signed off. The other thing is we need to get the constructor information. We have to come over here and slide over and do our health and safety rep. So these are the things you need to know when you're doing your health and safety rep. Who they are on site, they must be elected by the workers for the workers. So get those names posted and the members of your joint health and safety committee. It's also important to let on a little site map where your toilets are, where your emergency procedures are, where they would muster, those type of things, as well as a route to the hospital. Very important that we let workers know where they need to go. You also need the regulation and the registrations of all the different employers. So if you're bringing sub-trades, we need to know that they're registered and that they're WSIB compliant. So it's important to have that on your job site, as well as if there's any fall protection issues, you need a fall protection rescue plan. So the moment a worker dons a harness, we have to have a written rescue plan to be executed on how do we get them down. The other thing that we like to see on job sites is what is our PPE requirements. So on this site, it would be hard hats and safety boots. We might also require hard hats, safety glasses, and safety boots. Now, legal requirements under Section 22 and 23 are hard hats and safety boots. And your eye protection would be when there's a risk to an eye injury. We would need to be wearing our safety glasses. Don't forget as well, you need your WSIB Form 82. So a lot of people will ask me, Scott, the worker gets hurt. What do we need to be doing? And this is the nice thing is it's a self-explanatory when a worker has an injury at work. It'll tell them, get the medical help, document the event, report it to the WSIB, and then work together to get that worker back to work as soon as possible. So that's another document that we need to have posted. And we call this Form 82. The last thing we need to do is deal with our first aid. So we need our first aiders. We need who they are and their qualifications posted. We also need to know where your fire extinguishers are. It's nice if you have your first aid kit in close proximity. And don't forget, you have to write what you use out of the first aid kit as well as when you use it and inspect it. So it's really important when you have this. Now let me speak a little bit about where do we put this all. And over the years, I've seen lots of inventive ways to house all this documentation, because as you see, there's a lot of it. Some of the stuff over here is addition to the legal requirements. They're the nice to have. So the tie-off poster, the hand signals, anytime we can give workers information, I think it's a good idea. And if it's posted and readily available for them to look at, even better. So just talking about, as we discussed, in this case, we have it in a nice showcase. It's locked down. We can open it up, change it out. But I've seen companies just put it on a flat 4x8 sheet of plywood. They paint it. They put health and safety bulletin board so the workers know this is what it's for. And at that point, you're good to go. Sometimes what I see is they'll actually put labeling, so you'll know where the act is, the notice of project, your inspection forms. Those are all things that you can post on the safety board. And I've seen some companies get inventive where they house it outside, so it's not actually inside a trailer. They'll build a small frame for it, keep it out of the elements, put glass in. It looks really sharp. And again, while legally we have to have all these posted, they don't tell us where do we post them and how we have to do that. So we do have to have them posted in the workplace. I stand corrected. But the idea is what we put them in is really up to you. Make it inventive, take some time. Really what we want to do is make sure through a checklist that all these different components are here. So what you see here and what we've talked about is a legal requirement to have on your job site. Your safety rep should be inspecting the site once a month, and he might or she might check this over and make sure everything is up to date and nothing's missing. So I want to thank you for watching this safety video with me. I'm Scott Lang from IHSA. Check out our website at IHSA.ca for more resources and tools. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you get more of these safety videos. Remember, work safe for life. Thank you.
IHSA. Work safe for life.